The Brewery Imp. Pilsen was founded in 1295 by King Wenceslas II. In the endowment, he gave the new city a privilege that eventually made it famous throughout the world: the right to brew beer. Because Pilsen was situated on an important trade route between Prague and Bavaria, there was no shortage of thirsty gullets needing to wash down the dust of the road, but also skillful tradesmen for whom beer represented a desired commodity. After only a short while, the bitter golden drink was being brewed by a number of brewers who vied with each other over who could make the best batch. One of these was also Miloš, who, however, was not doing so well. Because he was short on money, he bought mouldy old malt, sickly hops, and his beer got worse and worse, until it seemed soon he would have to close up shop. One day, while drowning his sorrows in beer with his friends, and by this time he preferred not to drink on his own anymore, one of the drunks advised him to raise an imp. Allegedly, all he had to do was to carry an egg from a black hen under his arm for 9 days, and an invaluable helper would hatch from it. Miloš took the advice. 9 days passed, and truly the egg hatched, and out popped an imp, and right away began helping Miloš. At night, the imp would sneak out of Miloš's brewery and steal hops from the other brewers. Each time he brought a little more and spewed it out of his gizzard in the brewery basement. Miloš once again began to prosper. His beer had a good bite, but the others meanwhile counted the losses caused by an unknown burglar. Miloš only laughed, drank one beer after another with his Skid Row friends, and even rewarded his helper with beer. This made the imp even stronger, bigger, and thirstier. Finally, he could drink 5 barrels at once. At that moment, his master realized that the imp had grown out of his control, only by now it was too late. One day, the imp came and began spewing malt right in the doorway. Miloš tried to get to the door, but the flood of sprouting grain knocked him off his feet, continuing to grow bigger and in the end suffocated him. The theft stopped, the brewery fell into ruin, and in its basement the thirsty imp remained. Most of the time he slept, but from time to time he would go out to cause damage to other breweries. He wallowed there in the malt and hops, and the beer became revolting. The people of Pilsen then had these bad brews poured out beyond the edge of town, where the imp used to go to lap up the spilled beer. In the end, he settled into the Pilsen underground and caused more and more damage. Until one day, a brewer from Bavaria arrived in town, who right away realized he could lend a hand in this. He had a large barrel built and brewed some excellently strong beer to fill it, and left the barrel uncovered in the malt house. The imp could not resist. He began lapping up the beer until he drunk it all. Only he wasn't used to such strong beer, and exhaustedly he rolled into the barrel and fell asleep there. This was the moment the brewer and his colleagues had been waiting for. They covered the sleeping imp with the lid, sealed up the barrel, and buried it far outside the city. From that time on, the best beer in the world was brewed in the city, because everything bad in it was buried, along with the imp.